So, I have a confession to make, guys. Kind of fucked up this bike a little bit. But you know what? It's running now. So let's get in the video and I'll tell you about it. So I guess what we can start with, guys, is my clutch cable. It works now, which is nice. And it always worked before, but if you guys ride or know anything about older bikes, is when the clutch cables get old and rusty and overall deteriorated, they get really hard to pull. And so what I would do with my old one, it would always work like I said I needed it to, but to start it you'd have to pull it all the way back, like as far as you can, and readjust and grab it for it to initiate the switch to tell it it's okay to start, right? Because there's a clutch safety switch on this bike. Or at least there was. We'll get into that. The clutch was just super hard and anything, and if my girlfriend tried to ride or anything, she had to like use her whole hand on it. So I ordered a like $18, $20 clutch cable from Amazon, right? Came in, the clutch cable is perfect. It works nice, and it's nice to have a bike with a nice clutch now. But I ordered a new clutch cable, and I tried it, and I put it in. And a clutch cable, the idea of it is super simple, right? There's a connection up here and a connection down for the clutch inside the case of it. So the idea is, if you guys ever replaced a brake cable on a bicycle or anything like that, same type of thing, right? It's a little ball on one side, and then the wire goes down and through, and then connects to your clutch. Well, I'm like, all right, that won't be too hard, right? I'll just take all the fairings off, mirrors off, windscreen off, and I'll get to it. And I know it's going to be a little complicated to get through it, you know, to get the wire through and the clips it was on and whatever. But like, it shouldn't be that hard. I've got a basic knowledge of mechanical workings. It shouldn't be too hard, right? It wasn't. I made it hard. Alright, so what I ended up doing was exactly that, just replacing the clutch cable. And in doing so, because of how hard it was and frayed, I don't know why, but I could not for the life of me loosen the cable enough to properly get it to unscrew out of here and out of the bottom. I had to do some crazy stuff to it with a flathead screwdriver and kind of force it out. And in doing so, I broke the actual clip up here on the stock clutch lever. So that sucked. So then I was like, all right, not a big deal, right? I'll just go to, we actually have Cycle Gear here in town. I'm like, I'll go to Cycle Gear and I'll get a new clutch lever, I'll put it on. This one's black, the stock ones are this silver chrome alloy thing. It's a 96, it's my bike, I don't care if it's different. This black actually looks kind of clean. But anyway, what I said ended up happening was a stock one cracked in half, so you couldn't thread it in right. So I got the new clutch lever in, so I was like, all right, I got it. Just got to bolt it up and whatever. Well, the way this bike was designed for the clutch safety switch on it, it had an actual physical switch, like kind of you see in your house, a light switch type of deal, inside of this mechanism here. So on the stock one, it had that. So when you pulled in the clutch, you pull it in and it would actually indicate that switch on it, and then it would make the connection between, there were just two wires, I assume positive and negative, and it would go on to the next circuit, and if all checks good, you can start the bike. That's how it works, right? On this bike, it's got a simple circuit on it. It goes from kill switch to the start button to the clutch cable to then the kickstand, okay? So it's a simple line, and if all is true, it allows power to pass through and you can start the bike. It's a simple system. So the idea is you should take these two wires that go here, you could be able to cut them and just connect them, and then you won't need to use your clutch cable. Now the reason I was thinking that was because basic system, that's how I understood how it worked, but I guess it didn't in this case. So the reason I had to do that too is because this new clutch lever doesn't have anything for that. All right, this new clutch lever is just a lever. It just clips onto your bars, and then it's a lever, right? So I thought it'd be all fun and games and fine. So that's why I had to actually switch and get rid of the switch. So I was like, all right, I will cut the wires, put them together, and all will be well. Doesn't work that way apparently on this bike. So I cut the wires, I put them together, nothing. Didn't start, nothing. And this is 3 days of me pretty much constantly working on it from when I wake up to when I go to bed. And I was with my girlfriend most of the time, so I'm sorry she was with me, but she chose to. But anyway, long story short, clutch cable works. Clutch cable's nice. It's really nice. But I wasn't able to bypass the safety switch. And you look online and there's nothing about how to do it at all. Like, there are for different bikes, but those different bikes are newer and they just have simple connections going to an ECU for like each of them. Now, obviously you guys are gonna say, my bike's not like us. A lot of bikes are different, but the ones I've seen, it's just like they each have their own kind of wire per itself, and then it goes to the ECU, the computer says, okay, all is good to start. This is an older bike, it's 96, it's just wires. And these wires are old as fuck. They're like, obviously 96, but they're all like, got like a glue around it, like it had some type of sealant around it, you know? And it's just not good and all kind of just flimsy, and I was just scared to even like touch them and look at them, they're gonna break. So what I ended up doing, you guys can see this now, if you guys were in the previous videos, you didn't see this part here. I literally had to hotwire my bike. I didn't want to do it for obvious reasons, because failure goes down instantly, people might think you stole it. But all is well with the bike now, but I had to literally hotwire it. I have another wire coming from the battery up to under the tank to the starter motor, and then from there I have another wire going up. I got, so long story, I finally figured out how to start it by jumping power to different leads, right? And I thought I would have, I'm like, all right, I gotta get it running, this is pissing me off. What I thought I would have to do was seriously get like another switch or two on here and just wire it up here, and then that'll be like my one switch for my start, and then one switch for the kill switch to say it's all good. And then I was thinking, oh wait, I already have two switches right here. I got a start button and the kill switch, and those still work. So what I had to do, you guys can kind of see, I had to literally cut all the wires and run these as the aftermarket switch I was gonna do. So the proper wires that go from here are no longer. But it is so ghetto rigged right now. But it is seriously hot wired. I can show you when we get on the road a little bit. I shouldn't be telling you guys this. You do not need a key to ride my bike. Key is off. You see my RPM gauge dropped and everything? Key is off, key is on, key is off, key is on. So that doesn't do nothing. But all these switches still work. I took the casing of the clutch apart to get to the actual wire where the cable comes into the clutch to allow you to use the clutch. And in doing so, there was so much gunk in there, so I figured, all right, I'm gonna clean it all up nice, put it back together, and it'll maybe work nicer is the idea. Yeah, clutch works nice, but guess what? All that gunk that was in there was holding up a seal. And that gunk is no longer there, and it's no longer holding the seal. And this bike has a wet clutch on it. So a wet clutch means oil from your engine. So all the oil, not all, it's a very slow leak, but it is noticeable. I now have a pretty significant oil leak out of my clutch casing. So that's no fun. My clutch is good, but all this is ghetto rigged, and then I have a slight oil leak. I'm gonna probably work on that soon. I just wanna, it's been down for 3 days. I wanna be out and ride a little bit more. Right now it's almost a 50-degree day. It's like 49 and sunny and clear, and it is nice. Like I said, I live near Chicago. I haven't had many nice days to ride yet, so I'm happy to be out right now. But yeah, if you guys remember from the previous video we had, I kind of ran out of gas too, right? Well, got that situation now, we got gas and that's all good. But like I said in the end of that video, the reason I was trying to do that is I was going to try to work on my carbs, alright? And to do that, they're underneath the gas tank, so you got to take the gas tank off. And so I wanted to run it pretty low on fuel so I can just drain it and get to the carbs easier. I didn't want to sit there for a while draining it and get gas everywhere. Ended up getting gas everywhere anyway. There are a couple good things that came out of the story. Like I said 1,000 times, the clutch cable works nice now. The bad things, you know, is the oil leak and the ghetto rig of this. But the good things I said is the clutch cable, and then also I worked on my carburetors a little bit. Now I was going to take the tank apart and actually like do it kind of right, get to the carbs and see what I can do. I started doing that and leaked a bit of gas out everywhere in my garage. But what I ended up doing is I saw all this stuff about seafoam, and I'm like, it doesn't really do much, right? Yes and no. It's not a fix-all. It's not going to make it perfect by any means. But since I was so low on gas, what I did is I poured the whole thing of seafoam in. I had probably like almost quarter to half gallon of gas in it. I poured all of that full can of seafoam in here, which they say treats like 20 gallons or whatever, which is a blatant lie. So I was able to get the seafoam in it, and now the carburetors are nice. It's kind of surprising. So my bike is happy, I'm happy. It's dripping oil, but I gotta do an oil change soon anyway, so we'll just kind of address it when we get there. It feels so nice to be back on the road. Oh, hi cop. Shit, do I have my license on me? Oh, shit. I don't have my license on me. Not good. I'm missing over my insurance either. I gotta be a nice boy. Cop staying over there. Alright, so now you're gonna see me get a little worried and just ride real nice. Damn, I can smell the oil dripping off of this bike. It's dripping right onto the exhaust. Great. False neutral. Should really ride with my wallet. You guys can learn a few things from this video now. For one, ride with your ID and insurance and stuff. For two, if you don't have a good idea of what you're doing, even if you do, if you can bring it to a shop and get it done cheaply, do that. I did end up saving money doing it myself, and I thought I knew pretty decent the mechanics and wiring of the electrical system on here, but I guess I don't. But I'm not like a first timer, like I just bought the bike and I'm like, oh, I'm a motorcycle, I know my stuff now. No, I don't. But I have basic electrical knowledge. I've put sound system subs and stuff like that and amps in my car. I've done basic work to my car. I have a decent idea of what I'm doing, and I can figure myself through about anything I figure. And that's what I ended up doing here. I had to make it work because I'm not going to have it sitting in my garage forever. You can't sell it if it doesn't run, especially an older bike like this, and the wiring's all messed up. So you do what you do. So I had a basic knowledge, and even so, it didn't work out too well. It should have worked out totally fine. You just take it apart, put a new cable in it, done. But little things happen. If you break that little lever, you're gonna hate yourself. And don't break that little lever. So take my advice. If it's pretty cheap or you have a buddy you know that can come over and help you out, that's fine. But don't go into it totally blind. Expect the worst, hope for the best. You've all heard that before. My little words of wisdom there from experience. Yeah, I guess this will work. We don't have to pull over. We'll just be at the light. But if you guys look real close, you'll see this different wiring. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's all taped together. But pretty much just 2 or 3 wires running a power and a ground to the starter, and then back there's another 2 running a complete circuit for the engine start-stop switch. I want to thank you very much. I keep forgetting my signal now. I don't know how to ride a motorcycle anymore. I'm gonna go get in the car. I would like to thank you all for watching this video. If you haven't yet, if that button is red, please do consider subscribing to my channel. I upload at least once a week. I try to do a couple of times a week. If you guys have any suggestions at all for any videos or want to ask me any questions, please do so as well. Once again, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.